Okay, here we are back inside MatrixGold once again. Thanks for tuning in. Hope the videos are helping you in your designing and customization process. If they are, please go ahead and hit that subscription button. Tap on that notification bell for further content uploads. Leave me a like. Drop a comment down below. Good, bad, or indifferent. Doesn't matter. Love to hear from you. If I miss anything in these videos, please drop a comment. Let's educate as many people as we can about as much as we can. That's what this channel is all about. Also, if you'd like to share the content, please do so. And if you'd like to donate some coffee to the cause, down around here, there is a super thanks button. You can donate some coffee to the cause. In our last two videos, we talked about setting up viewports, splitting them horizontally, vertical, and then saving them as defaults, right? And then the very first video, we talked about customization of the ribbon bar, the quick commands, and how to set up your sidebars, right? And however you want, given different situations, right? And then also your primary view and your secondary view for trying to get the most out of the space that you have, whether it's a laptop, a PC with multiple monitors, or just one, and the size of your monitor, right? So in this video, what we're going to talk about just a little bit more is that same, how to get the most out of your space that you have, your monitor, whether it be a desktop or a laptop, right? And how to design with it. So now we're going to go into a command that's a little bit different. First, I think I'll just go ahead and switch to my secondary viewport, because this is kind of the one we're going to use for it. Excuse me. What we're going to do is right down here. The first thing I want to do is switch this command line to my top. It just seems to, I get a little bit more space up there, I think. So I'll just go to my command options, any cogwheel, right? And then I'll click on my rhinoceros commands right here, and I'll just switch my command bar location from the bottom to the top, and then go ahead and close that out, right? Okay, now there's two things you need to be aware of right away. Okay, the first one is if I type in full screen up here at the top and then hit enter, you can see that it gives me the full screen. These maybe because I already have it set up, so you can hit escape to get out of it. You'll see this bar come up here, right? If that happens, it's no big deal. You can get rid of it very easily. I think it's a little bug they're working on. But click on the cogwheel there, go to your rhinoceros command, click here, and then click it back off, and it goes away, right? So it's no big deal, right? So let's go back and type in full screen. Usually, I think it's because I already have them set up in the other one, full screen. This box might disappear. If this box disappears, the command you should, I'm going to hit escape again. The command you should really use, and you can see my command line's gone too, but as soon as I click on that cogwheel, it pops back up. So I'll click that back off, click it back on, or click it off. Oh, I need to go to rhinoceros, sorry. Click this off, or click it on, click it off, and it goes away, right? The command to start with you might want to use, if your pop-up doesn't show, is this command here. You need to hyphen and then type in full screen, right? And then when you do the hyphen full screen, you get set full screen options. You can choose to show layers, show your commands, which I have yes activated, show status no, show properties no, because I already have properties in here, show menu no, show title no, show floating yes, floating, right? And then disable escape no. I just hit those. So if let's just try this, click this to no, and let's just change them all to no. Okay, and then I'll hit enter, and we'll hit escape to get out of it, which I just did. Right, so we're out of it. So let's type full screen now. Full screen, hit enter. It still shows up, so that we're good to go for the most part. So I'll just go ahead and click on here, click here because I want to get those viewports all lined up so that it didn't, I had a little space there. I didn't like it. So just click on the viewports and it'll close up that space. So I have the command lined up here. And now I have my entire screen to design on, right? And you might be wondering, well, you know, how are you going to do anything, right? Well, we have our command line down here. So let's first of all, let's grab our dynamic commands by clicking down here at the bottom right there, and we'll drag that command box out because we'll need to see a little bit more of that because we'll get a lot of commands out there that we might want to manipulate. You might want to move it over so you can still hit this button here, but you know, set it wherever you want it. And then we have these commands down here, our quick commands, which we showed in, I think, an earlier video. So check those out, how to customize your viewports, or how to customize matrix, right? We have our layers, we have display modes, we have properties, and we have projects that we can save to. Right, so we can actually use these design, but there is one other thing that we can use, and we're going to talk about more about this and customizing it and using it and designing with it in further videos coming up. But if you hit F6, you get your context menu out here, right? And the context menu is very, very useful. I don't use it in 99% of my videos because I just think that going to the commands in the command line, but when I am designing, not making a video, I do use the context video and I do use the command line a lot. And if you know a lot of the commands, or after you've been using it for a while, really the command line is really something that you might use. It just depends on the user, right? And that's what this series to start with is all about, is how to customize it best for you. So if you're a command line person, you probably don't need the context menu because you know a lot of the commands, but you can set it up, right? In a full screen mode to get the most if you're working on a laptop or something. And then also your quick commands, we have them all set up in there, which we showed, of course. But here we have options, right? And we'll talk about this more in detail later on. We can customize our own setup, right? But we can manipulate what shows up where, and there might be some already in there that I redid already or added in, and they might not be set up the same because I like to usually color code these, keep all the colors together, because once you get to know the ribbon bars and their colors, I think it just makes it very quickly. I always put the parametric, well, we'll talk about that later. But anyway, you have different options so we can set it up, right? So what we're going to do is go ahead and probably just really simply design something using the full screen. Now we can, again, manipulate our windows however we want, so we get more more view of whatever area you want to see, right? And of course we're going to do a lot in the perspective this way, and we can always go down here and click on our other ones, or we can go ahead and change them to our other settings, right? And those are in previous videos, so check those out. All right, so we have this set up, right, in a full screen mode. So we have our command line, we have our context menu box, so we have everything that we need to, pretty much everything that the ribbon bar has and everything else that we have access to. Okay, so I'm just going to go and design something very quickly just to kind of show how this all can work, right? And we'll see how this video goes. So right here we have, you know, in our we have nothing selected. So if we just get a ring rail, we have that, and it pops our dynamic command, so we can change it to any size we want, change from US to any other country's size or whatever, and we'll just go ahead and take that, right? And next thing we want to do is we're going to do something just very simple, just to kind of show how we can use operate in this kind of full screen mode, right? So if you noticed, I don't have anything selected, but as soon as I select this, it gives me options somewhat related to this curve, right? So now I can come over and say I want a profile, right? So profile placer, just place that out there. I get all my dynamic commands over here. I get the profile out there, and what we'll do is we'll just change this one just very little, very quickly. We'll go in there and click our profile library, which is this right here, right? The profile library. So I clicked on it, and I'll just grab this one right here. And we can manipulate it if we want. We'll take it to 3, holding down shift, dragging in a little bit, and we'll take it up to a nice 2.5 for thickness, right? And over here, my dynamic commands, I just go activate auto sweep because I want it the same going all the way around, right? And I have that, right? And I'll just right click to close off the command. And right now you can see we're in wireframe. No big deal. Just go down here to display modes and click on whatever mode you want to change. As you can see, I have very few activated here. And if I go to my cogwheel there, I can click on or click off the ones that I use the most, so it's not all cluttered up, and I don't have to really, these are the ones that I use the most. I don't use pan, I don't use these other art color, GB, shadow. I don't use them very often, but if I ever need them, I have very, very quick access to them, right? But those are the ones that I just left clicked on. Okay, so we have that, and now we need to maybe extract an ISO curve from this to put some gemstones on it or something, right? So I'm just going to click on that, and over here you can, since we selected that surface, in our yellow, we have extract ISO curve from surface, and it's parametric. Yours may or may not be. I'm not sure if this is the one I added in, but the next video we're going to show how to do all that. So I'll just select activate extract ISO curve, and then I'll drag it over there till it kind of like gets to my 5.0 where it really kind of disappears. You can see if I click on it, it says 5.0 over there, right? And I'll just click there, and now I'll click on that curve, and then I can just come over here because now it has commands already listed out there. Again, they may not be the same, they may not be in the same order. I've kind of changed mine a little, but anyway, we selected that line, and then over here we have gems on ring rail, and we have gems on curve, right? So gems on curve, right there. Okay, and now we can come in here and manipulate that to wherever we want. Let's just say we'll just take it up to around here, and we'll drag this one over to around this area here. I'm not going to be very specific at this point just yet. We're just kind of getting to play around with it a little bit, right? And now they're kind of like right on the surface, the girdle, right? And we're going to talk about all this later on, each and every command in here and how to use it and what it does. But we want to maybe recess that down a little. Now there's two ways. I can just go to placement and then drag it down in, or I can come over here to girdle and then just go to table. So it just takes them straight down to where the table is at the top of that line, or with that line, right? And if I scroll up, I want to make sure that I select my target surface, which will be this surface here. So it's tied to that surface, right? In the direction of the surface. Okay, so we have that, and maybe I want it just a little bit deeper in there, right? So I'll just drag it down a little bit, and I'll right click to accept it, right? And I still have all my active profiles out there, right? So now I want to select those stones. You can either just go to wireframe and select them, or you can come down to your layers, which we put all in there already, and just right click on your gemstones, right? And that will activate other commands over here. So we want a channel cutter, right? So we'll click on channel cutter, and now we have our commands over here. We can change that channel cutter up to a different shape. Here's our shape here. We can change it to a different one if we want. Right now it's set to this one. Let's say, I don't know, let's go to like this one here, right? And on the the end type right now, you can see they're rounded. We can come, and we're going to go in and talk about all these commands in a later video. We're just kind of showing how to design in full view here. We'll go change that to a flat, and we can start to manipulate it. We'll drag that. Well, we don't want that cap out so much, but we want that edge out. In Matrix 10, you have a little extra command now that we can have more control over, right? Now, whether you wanted a channel set, you might want to bring it in so that there's a little bit of space out there so that we can see just the channels. And that green gets in the way or whatever, we can just come over here to green and then turn it off so we can kind of see a little bit more. We can also go back into our display modes, put it on a shade, some kind of a shaded mode where we can kind of see how much it's kind of sticking out, right? But we're going to say we want these to be bright cuts, so we're going to make it a little bit larger, right? We'll go back to wireframe so we can kind of see, and we'll drag it out just a little bit more, and we'll go back to our layers and turn on that green layer just to see where they're kind of go back to our display modes, give it some shading. Okay, so our top's down inside there, right? So we want to drag that. We don't need it so deep, of course. So drag it up to wherever you think you might want it. We want below the girdle, but not so much. And then you got to check your edges again, because that edge will be a little bit different because it's tapered, right? So we'll just make it a little bit larger, and we'll go back to, and we have still plenty of room around there, and we'll talk about all those. I'll put up a video about how thick you kind of want those rails to be and how thick you want the distance between the prongs and the rail to be, and all that kind of fun stuff. But that'll be another later on down the line. So we got this on here. Let's just say this is good. I'll right click. We'll give it some shading. Now we need to do a boolean, right? So we'll click on this surface, and as you can see, we don't have a boolean difference over here, right? But if we go to gems maybe and click on this surface, no. So you can kind of click through there and see if it's in any of the other video items, right? It's not in here. I'm not going to go and show how to add those just yet, but we can always come up here and do GV boolean, boolean union, boolean difference right here. GV, the command will be all the parametric commands. That's something that you'll need to remember when you go to context editing and stuff like that. Or customization, because those will be all your parametric commands. So boolean union will be non-parametric, GV boolean union will be parametric. So we're going to go to GV boolean difference, right? And it's to select our first surface. That'll be this one, and it'll be cut by this one here, and then we'll right click, and then we have our cutout, right? And we'll just accept that. Now we can always go back and edit that boolean, right? We can edit that show or hide, right? So we can always go back and edit those that boolean, because we did the GV boolean difference, the parametric one, right? Okay, so we have the prongs that are, we have the channel cut that maybe where we want it. So we'll select the gemstones, and it'll give us all things over here, right? And prong placer right here, parametric. So that's cool. And we'll just add those prongs on there. And we will, first thing we'll do is give it some more height, so we have plenty of prong to push over the stones, give the jeweler lots of area there. And nudge we won't mess with right now. Let's make those prongs just a little bit thicker, so they're 5/6, but these did not move, right? So over here, and we'll go through all this in a later video, but we'll click on end, and we'll go down here to diameter, and it was a 5, what was it, 5/6? 5/6, yeah. So we'll go here, diameter, and I'll just type in a 6 there, 5 6, right? Diameter, and then I'll right click, right? So that did not, only maybe the other side did. No. Okay, so we'll just go back to our prong placer. We'll click on edit. Diameter 5 6. Okay. So we'll just kind of click on our little slider there and make them to 5 6. Give it a little time to update. 5 6. All right. And that should have done it to both, which it did. And those seem to be a little bit closer together, so we can go to our nudge, click on it, and move those a little bit further apart. There we go. Or we could just go here, and I think it's this one that activates that. Right, now we have handles out here, so we can draw that up. And come over to our other side and draw that up. And this is for our depth, right? So we got those extra commands, and it lines them up with that, right? Okay, and we're at, what's our diameter there? 5 6. Okay, and everything else looks to be okay. Yeah, I think I talked about this before, but just in case I didn't, if I hover over, it's going to highlight that for a certain set amount of time. Not sure I talked about that, but if you hover over one, there's the channel, it'll stay on there for a short period of time. You can set that time, how long you want it to hover, change, to that extract curve, profile placer, ring rail. So it'll highlight those, which is really cool. Actually, the best thing is clicking off of it. If I want to know something, I can go to this profile, click on it, and automatically gives me a drop down. And you can set whether you want it to drop down or not drop down. Also, I'm not sure I talked about that, but if I haven't, we will in the near future. All right, so we have that, and that's pretty much what we want, so good to go. And now we have a channel set ring. Last thing we need to do maybe is select these gems. Let's go back and give it some shading. Select these gems, go over here to gem cutters, right? And we can manipulate those gem cutters however we want. And I'm just going to say the defaults are fine and just right click to accept that. And again, we don't have a Boolean difference over here that I remember seeing any kind of, so you might want to add that in certain areas when you pick a surface or something. Yeah. So we can add that in, and we'll show how to do that in the next video. So all we have to do is right click here, and we have GV Boolean difference right here already. So right clicking gives you kind of your commands that you just used. So we'll select first surface, this one, enter this, cut by this one, right? And then enter. And now if I go back to my layers and turn that gemstones off, you can see we now have a cut there, and my prongs didn't cut. So, and I don't like cutting my prongs, I like to show the prongs, but for rendering purposes, you probably want to go ahead and attach your prongs and then do the cutout, but just for rendering, not for printing. But I guess it's personal preference, so I'm not telling you how to do it. You can choose what's best for you and your craftsman that you work with. So we have these now, right? And now we probably need to join those together. So just go up here, GV Boolean union, right? So here, select our first surface, that'll be our ring. Right click, select our prongs, right click, and then right click, and wait for it. And now we have everything all lined up. We can turn back on our gemstones now, and this is go to our properties, make sure it's a closed poly surface, and now this ring is ready to go for printing. It's good to go. And also we have to do is sprue it up, give it some sprue, and then save it, and we can put it into our slicer and print it up in for 3D resin or whatever. Yeah. But this is kind of how we go about doing all that with the full view, right? And as you can see, we have, I mean, look at that. Our viewport is just, you know, if you're making something larger or got a lot of details or want to see a lot of different things, I mean, you have a very, very nice look. And to me, I like this setup. But you know, to each their own. So hopefully this helps, and if it does, go ahead, leave me a like, a comment, and again, just before I go, we can just hit escape, right? And, well, we could go down here to our projects, select it, save it as a full save or whatever, because it's fully parametric. We go down here to ring rail, right? And we change the ring rail to size 10. You can see that everything's going to update for us. So we can save it in our projects and everything is all parametric. It'll all update at any time. Last thing, get rid of this one more time. Go to our cogwheel there, go to Rhinoceros, click on this, and then click back off, and then we are back, right, to our normal area. Last thing you want to do probably before you close out is go ahead and just get rid of that, and then go to move your command line back to wherever you were using it. I use it from the bottom, and close that out, and then we'll go ahead and drag this one back in here. We'll go to our 4 viewports, and as you can see, we're getting no ribbons out here, right? We can always just go back to view, primary, and then for some reason I might have clicked on it, I'm not sure. We can go in here to our let's see, is it Rhinoceros? No, I think it's user no, it's Rhinoceros. Turn on command points. Which one is it now? Property? No, I think it's Rhinoceros. Oh, to the bottom, enable autosave. Show, I don't like showing the ring, that's this here. Ribbon bar, show icon. Oh, because I did that one click. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Ribbon bar, just click those back on, and we are set up to go for any further manipulation or whatever back in our normal viewports. Both set up the way of our default, right? And we can go in here, view, restore, go to our layers, our display mode, and you're good to go, right? So there you go. Just a different way using full screen, right? Which I kind of like, but that's my personal preference. So thanks a lot for watching. Good designing, and talk to you in the next video.